Good, y'all. I'm Jerry, about to check out 10 WWE wrestlers who will never get another major push. This video is by Cultaholic Wrestling. It's a lot of wrestlers who got a push in the past where they was at the top of their games. It just somehow they either didn't get over with the fans, or Vince didn't see them as being marketable, or an injury happened, or anything like that. So we about to hop into this video and see what Cultaholic Wrestling has on this list. So let's go.
A wrestler can have all the talent and charisma in the world, but if a promotion never gets behind them, then they may as well be invisible and mute.
That is true.
The right push at the right time is absolutely vital to a wrestler's career and can change the shape of the industry overnight. These 10 performers were all given the rocket at one point in their WWE runs, but for one reason or another, we'd be shocked if it ever happened again. But hey, I'm wrong about most things, so maybe you shouldn't count them out just yet. We'll see. I'm Adam Pachisi from Cultaholic Wrestling, and these are 10 WWE wrestlers who will never get another major push. Join us. Number 10, Lacey Evans. Does anyone else remember when Lacey Evans used to just walk out to her music, turn around, and then walk backstage again? Please tell me somebody else remembers that, otherwise this job has finally made me crack.
That's when she first got on the main roster.
Didn't do much of note in NXT before she was called up as part of that weird on their way
They
to
keep
WWE
repackaging her just about every year.
Unless I just imagine that too. Evans got her first major program when she was revealed to be Becky Lynch's post-WrestleMania 35 challenger. The pair had several pay-per-view matches for the Raw Women's Championship before their feud finally culminated in a mixed tag team match at Extreme Rules 2019. And yes, the fact that Lacey Evans has main evented a WWE pay-per-view but William Regal never did is extremely upsetting. Since then, Evans has plummeted down the card and now finds herself as a solid mid-card act in the women's division. She isn't a terrible wrestler by any stretch, but in a division full of so many talented women, I think it's unlikely that she will ever be treated as a main eventer ever again. Number 9, Baron Corbin. Lacey's tag partner in that Extreme Rules main event, Baron Corbin's position of prominence in WWE lasted for far longer and did far more damage than the ex-military gal. The Lone Wolf was earmarked for success right from the get-go, as he won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal in his very first main roster match. Over the next few years, he would pick up the Money in the Bank briefcase, the United States title, and win the King of the Ring tournament. Oh, and he also challenged for the Universal Championship in a number of pretty boring matches. Corbin faced off against Seth Rollins on 3 different pay-per-views, coming up short on every occasion. I mean that in terms of both winning the title and of actual match quality, by the way. Although he's flirted with the upper mid-card a few times since then, Corbin has never been seen as a world title contender since this disastrous feud with the Architect. As an NXT baby, there was a chance that Triple H could have returned him to the top of the card, but so far, creative seems content watching him get punked out backstage every single week. Number 8, Carmella. In 2017,
they keep pushing Carmella though, I ain't gonna lie.
By winning the first ever women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Well, sort of. Technically, James Ellsworth
still get
won the match,
big matches. She just lose every time.
Any longer than we need to, eh?
And congratulations on Carmella and Corey Graves. They're about to have a baby
287 days.
Sometime later this year, I think.
First episode of SmackDown after WrestleMania 34 to defeat Charlotte Flair and become SmackDown Women's Champion. The Princess of Staten Island reigned for about 4 months before dropping the belt at SummerSlam to Charlotte Flair again, obviously. Mella was shunted down the card almost as soon as that match was over. Literally, this was the night Becky Lynch's The Man character was born. Carmella may as well have not even been there. The former champion will always be a reliable hand and will always be around in some form or other, but it doesn't seem likely that she will be holding the top prize again anytime soon.
Nah.
Well, unless Ellsworth comes back. Number 7, The Miz. Is it fair to call The Miz's WWE title reign in 2021 a push? He only had the belt for 8 days as a mean of getting it off Drew McIntyre and onto Bobby Lashley. He was basically the modern-day Stan Stasiak. If we're not going to talk about that, though, then we can definitely discuss the first time he was WWE
2010.
champion.
I remember he cashed in on Randy Orton.
The time he main-evented WrestleMania. The time he beat John Cena. The bad times. Miz was hot property back then, having turned his Money in the Bank briefcase win into several months as world champion. After dropping the title to Cena, Miz seemed set to be an upper mid-carder, but was soon pushed out when a certain CM Punk got super popular instead.
Yeah.
Over the next decade plus, Miz had brief stints in the main event, but always seemed more comfortable on the step below. Pretty recently, he had been assigned to helping get Logan Paul over, and to be honest, he was great at it. Sadly, we just can't see Miz having a third run with the top belts, although stranger things have happened.
Yeah, like I said, you never know.
Karrion Kross. Honestly, it would not be surprising
Vince didn't like Karrion
Triple H
Kross.
and Karrion Kross were related, because the game went to extraordinary lengths to get him over. And they both really like leather jackets too. At NXT TakeOver in Your House, the former Killer Kross decimated Tommaso Ciampa to establish himself as the brand's new resident monster. 3 months later, he would defeat Keith Lee to unseat him as NXT champ. Things were looking good for Mr. Kross, but wait, what's that? Oh no, it's Vince McMahon holding up a
That's when Vince McMahon took over NXT.
Karrion's giant legs were cut from under him when he was forced to debut on the main roster looking like a low-budget Demolition cosplayer. What's more, he lost his first match to Jeff Hardy in like 2 minutes. What is going on? After getting released in 2021, Kross returned to WWE under Triple H's creative control.
He ain't did nothing since he
Trips
returned.
tried to give his former pet project something worthwhile, but middling crowd reactions and uninspired matches soon sent him right back down the pecking order. Kross has recently expressed his unhappiness with his current WWE position, so we may not be seeing him with the company for much longer. Hey, at least he got to grow his hair back.
Yeah.
Number 5, Natalya.
Natalya.
If you look at WWE's female roster from 10 years ago,
Natalya,
you will
the
be
only one
shocked to
that's
find
still
out
there.
that 10 years ago was 2013. Life is fleeting. Death is coming for us all.
Natalya, really, the
You'll
only
also
one still
notice
there,
that
other than
Natalya is one of the only women from that time
they
who
just
is
brought
still
back
with
Emma.
the company. The Daughter of the Anvil is WWE's longest tenured female wrestler ever, having been with the promotion since 2007. Her talent stood out like a sore thumb in the late noughties / early 2010s and has more than earned her status as a respected vet. That being said, is anybody really crying out for another natty world title reign? The last time the Canadian won a singles title was back in 2017. She got a whiff of the main event through her real-life friendship with Ronda Rousey, but that's been about it. The general consensus is that Natalya has had her time in the sun, and there are just more interesting choices out there for the top prize. That said, it's reassuring to know that if a random woman needs a tag team partner for a random episode of Raw or SmackDown, then Natty will be there, cat ears in hand. Number 4, Braun Strowman. Braun hasn't been given the huge welcome many were expecting for him since his 2022 return. The former Wyatt family member got released back in the pandemic and after controlling his narrative for a little while, found his way back to the big dub. Before he left, he was a huge deal, a former world champion no less, so fans were just waiting for him to be slotted right back into the main event scene. But that just hasn't happened.
At least he in good shape,
Since
though.
his return, Braun has terrorized the tag
You never know
team
what could have
division,
happened, man.
With Omos, challenged for the IC Championship, and formed a tag team with Ricochet. Oh, and he also posted that tweet criticizing high-flying wrestlers. Maybe his big fat mouth has something to do with his lack of big fat push.
Yeah.
Just saying. WWE tried many times to present Strowman as a top guy in the past, but pretty much dropped the ball with him on every occasion. His feuds with Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar made him seem like a star in waiting, but the years have gone by and he's yet to live up to his full potential. Hey, at least we'll always have the time he made train noises when he ran around the ring. Number 3, Dolph Ziggler. Once upon a time,
it's gonna be a
Dolph
while
Ziggler
before he
had
get
the
another push.
wrestling world
If he
at
ever
his
get another push.
fingertips. The night after WrestleMania,
They push him, then they
the
take it
show
away.
cashed in
Push him,
Money in
take
the
it away.
Bank on Alberto Del Rio to win the World Heavyweight Championship for the first time. Just forget about when Vicky Guerrero handed him the belt on a random episode of SmackDown, alright?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, fate was not on Zigglypuff's side, as
He
a
lost
concussion
the
would cut
the
his
same night, I
career
think.
painfully short. And that was the last time he was ever world champion on the main roster. Ziggler has been the victim of stop-start pushes his entire WWE career. He's the sole survivor at Survivor Series, and then he's a bit part in a WrestleMania ladder match.
Yep.
He's fighting for his career against The Miz, and then he's part of a thrown-together tag team with Bobby Roode. Seriously, just give the man some consistency, please. It's clear from his positioning these days that the company sees him as nothing more than a veteran mid-carder who can help get new talent over. Whilst there was a time when
I like when he went to NXT last year.
Has unfortunately
Or was that this year?
sailed. Number 2, Kofi Kingston. Kofi Mania was a magical time.
Yeah.
After over a decade of
that was a great moment. They had him lose to Brock Lesnar.
And getting the odd
In,
IC or
what,
US
6
title
seconds?
run, Kofi Kingston finally won the big one. He earned himself a spot at WrestleMania 35 and with his good friends Big E and Xavier Woods at his back, defeated Daniel Bryan to become WWE Champion for the first time in his illustrious career. And then what happened when he lost the title to Brock Lesnar? Well, he was put right back into the tag division and his title reign was barely mentioned ever again. Dreams do come true. 1 year on from Kofi Mania, Kingston was fighting in a ladder match for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. He then got battered by Omos, and then he and Woods got beaten in about 3 minutes by the Brawling Brutes. Sure, he and Woods have won the NXT tag straps recently, but the company just doesn't seem interested at all in doing anything proper with Kofi if it doesn't involve the rest of the New Day. And this is bonkers,
Right now,
as
Kofi
they've literally
injured.
got proof that people are interested in him as a single star.
Yeah.
I mean, thank God he's got the power of positivity, otherwise this would all be very bleak. Number 1, Jinder Mahal.
Nah, it was gonna be a minute.
Way back in 2017.
I don't even see why they
it
gave
still
him the
doesn't
push
feel
anyway.
quite real that Jinder Mahal was WWE Champion for most of a calendar year. The former 3MB member was chosen to spearhead the company's expansion into the Indian markets, even though they portrayed him as an incompetent heel who needed all the help he could get from his cronies to win matches. For 170 long, underwhelming days, Mahal's reign was filled with boring matches, bland promos, and a mysterious force that could drain joy from a person if they just thought about it. Mercifully, his time with the gold was ended by AJ Styles. Thank you, Alan. Jinder then won the United States Championship at WrestleMania 34 before the company lost all interest in their former project.
Damn.
He received a teeny bit of a push in early 2023, challenging Bron Breakker for the NXT title, but he hasn't been considered a proper main event talent in a very long time. Honestly, it's not like I want to hinder Jinder, but I'm also pretty happy seeing literally anyone else in the hot seats.
Alright, y'all, another great video, man. Let me know down below in the comments of what y'all thought of my reactions to this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.